All social media comment sections involving political stories right now are filled with bickering and fighting.
And for many, it's hard to read and witness those remarks, but it may be harder to admit that sometimes people actually enjoy joining in.
So why is it so many people find joy in hate online? And can we break out of that cycle? Northern News Now's Ryan Half searches for answers.
The technology we have today is amazing. Built for speed, connection, and engagement with messages, photos, and videos coming in faster than ever before. A constant stream of notifications and the opportunity for endless scrolling, bringing a jolt of dopamine to our brains. But to go along with the delight of something as sweet as a baby animal video, social media users out there also seem to find satisfaction in projecting the worst sides of us. Over the years, major news stories, including the recent high-profile killings of Charlie Kirk and Melissa Hortman, have produced waves of eye-opening comments, even on our own station's Facebook page. Why do you think us humans find enjoyment or fulfillment when it comes to throwing hateful things at one another online?
Really, the three drivers of suffering for us as human beings is fear, and it's comparison, and it's also a fear of being judged and evaluated. If you can get out in front of fear with hate, you feel safe.
I sat down with Mike Claybaugh, a clinical social worker and therapist at Insight Counseling Duluth. He told us showing hate so quickly is partially due to protecting ourselves and what's truly inside of us, including our vulnerabilities.
One of the things for us as humans, the hardest experience for us to bear is this feeling of shame. We all have our flaws, but no one will see mine because of how strong I'm portraying myself out there.
So to help further understand why we find joy in hate, we have to turn to a word outside of the English language. You know the German word Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude? Yes.
Schadenfreude in English literally translates to harm, joy. It is the satisfaction we feel at others' misfortune. For football fans out there, it could be watching your hated rival lose a big game. And for others, it could be watching something like an ex struggle in a new relationship.
I think the perfect example that we could look at is the Coldplay video that got released, where you could literally see two people experience in front of millions complete and utter shame of what was going on for them right at that moment there.
And back in 2013, Princeton University researchers reported we're more likely to feel Schadenfreude toward people we envy, like celebrities or public figures, witnessing that fall from grace.
And when I see those people suffering, yeah, in an ironic sense, it brings me a sense of joy.
Natural for us to feel that way.
It is, I mean, it's natural because we all do.
However, as much as it may feel good in the moment, Schadenfreude doesn't lead to lasting happiness. We as humans are wired for cooperation and belonging.
I think the best antidote to all this is to find yourself a real relationship. And without it, you just have that freedom, that sense of freedom that I can do whatever I want. And I'm not really held responsible or accountable to anybody.
What are some easy tools that people, maybe some mental steps that they can walk through before they ultimately decide to post a hateful thing online?
Two things. One is pause. I always say I'm going to hold on to this for 24 hours before I hit send, because what I'm feeling right now is probably not what I'm going to be feeling 24 hours. I would also remind people that there is, at the other side of this, there's another human being. fMRI scans show that when their brains are being scanned and you start using judging, evaluative words, their brains light up in the same way as if they were being physically attacked in that same piece there. And so words do matter.
The more we can step back, pause, and consider the person on the other side, the healthier our online world can become.
There's a quote by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow: "If we could know or we could learn the secret history of our enemies, we would find enough suffering and enough shame and enough sorrow to disarm any hostility that we have."
In Duluth, Ryan Half, Northern News Now.
Well, if you find yourself getting caught in online negativity, help is out there. The National Online Safety and Mental Health Resources page or 988 Suicide, a crisis lifeline, are great places to start. Also, reaching out and talking with a therapist can make a real difference as well.